Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron. Weather's starting to turn a little bit out there. Get a little bit cold, so for my money, that means it's become porter weather. Well, or stout weather, depending on how you want to define it, because I looked them up, and from what I can tell, there isn't really any discernible difference why one's called a stout over a porter. I mean, I'm sure there's some minor technicality, but I don't care enough to use that definition. I just use them interchangeably, and anybody that's got a problem with it, I can fuck directly off. But I've already gotten off track. Weather's getting colder, so I've been having this and porters in my head for the last couple of days. It gets that nice cold temperature. I can't drink them when it's hot out. It just doesn't work for me. They're too thick, they're heavy, they're viscous. You get down around below 60 consistently. Nice cold basement, a little bit of football. That's porter weather. So I decided the other day I'd go buy some porters after I got off work, and then I realized I had box O Stout back there. Case box of beer with a post-it note on it that says box O Stout, and I just took all the random stouts and porters that I had laying around, which was a pretty decent amount, and I almost filled a case. So I slapped a sticker on them, put them on the shelf, and thought once it gets cold, we'll bust this out. So I did. But the surprise was I found a batch I made, I guess it's been like 2 years now. It's called Full of Schmidt. Made it for my buddy Bob. Bob Schmidt is a Lacrosse radio talent for decades, and more importantly, was my reference on like my last 2 or 3 job applications. And guess what? I got them all. So I said, Bob, I owe you beer. What do you drink? And he said, I like something dark, something stout. And I thought, well, I could go buy him a case, or I could fucking make him a case, you know? So that's what I did, the second one. And since he was a morning show guy for years, I thought, coffee. I'll make a coffee stout. But I like a little bit of cream to her, so I made a coffee cream stout, which is known as, oh yeah, shit, that's right. Is this a twist off? It's known as Full of Schmidt. Ooh, yeah, she carbonated up all right. And the ironic part of this is Bob hasn't even gotten this yet. So I'm almost completely out of my share of the batch. Ooh, nicely carbonated, just a little bit on there. There's no actual coffee in this. It's like a deception thing. It's like a coffee cream deception stout. It's, oh, nice clean finish in the bottle. No shit on the bottom. It's the malt they use that gives it the coffee flavor, and they use a pound of lactose. Well, I used a pound of lactose. And that gives it that good creamy mouth feel, as the douchingtons would say. And that aged out pretty good too. That's a solid beer. But like I said, I used Bob as my reference for my last couple of jobs, and I got him. So I thought, geez, I gotta hook Bob up. But how does one get to the point of actually, I don't know, of deciding that someone is a good person to use as a reference? And, you know, well, I'll just rewind it back. I used to be a DJ, FM station up in Lacrosse. And I was the fucking Swiss Army knife in that place, all right? What do you need? You need somebody to come in at 5 a.m. and run the boards while your morning show's on location? Flick that thing out of there. Now, wait a minute. We need somebody to come and cover the afternoon shift while the program director goes to a meeting. Oh, yeah, we got that attachment. All right, we got somebody that can do middays, you know, afternoon drive, 2 to 6. Oh, yeah, Ron can do that. Let's whip out that thing. All right, well, we need a fucking 7 to midnight. Can somebody do the nights? You know, the teenagers, the top 5 countdown, all that shit. Oh, Ron's got that attachment. Man, gee, I wish we had somebody that could work an overnight, you know, midnight to 5. Oh, hey, what do you know? Ron's got that attachment too. There was a week in that place where I literally worked every shift at that station. Yeah, it's not about me. I'm bringing it around. Just hold on. So I'd be in there, 4:30 in the morning, and you're like, 4:30 hits, man. I mean, you got to do 5-6 hours on radio, and you're like, I know you guys are like, it's radio. What did you do? 6 hours? Who cares? No, believe me. By 4:30, you're tired, you're delirious, you're punchy, and you might be a little bit fearful of shit you might even say. So I have to go take the hat off, take the shoes off, walk around the building, keep myself awake. Well, I'd be sitting there 4:30, just fucking frazzled, man. I had lots of hair to spare, sticking all over, looked like fucking, yeah, tons of hair. So I'd be sitting in there just like, oh God, all right, stay awake. Somebody knock on the glass, I turn around, there's Bob. Bob coming into work, 4:30. Big mug of coffee, all bright-eyed, ready to go in his usual routine, knocking on the window, and I turn around like, and then away he goes. So like, well, all right, well, I like that guy. That guy's all right. So yeah, and that kind of became to be, it's like, pretty soon you're like, yeah, everybody loves fucking Bob's awesome. Bob's the shit. So, and then I'd always tried to, I actually got to do my big thing. I wanted to work at that radio group. When I first got to Lacrosse, I came there to get into radio. I used to listen to AM all the time. In the morning, they'd have a news and comment with the old-timey radio news guy, Dick Record. And he'd get down into this voice, and I'm Dick Record, and that's as I see it. And he'd do this whole thing, he'd news and comment, an opinion piece. Well, Dick went on vacation, and this shit was always a dream of mine. Like, before I worked there, Dick did a news and comment. I mean, I even called into the station, like, hey, I just heard Dick's news and comment. He did one on decriminalization and maybe even legalization of marijuana. And there's me at fucking 5:30 in the morning going, I gotta call this fucking station. Hey, you tell Dick I support him. And for all I know, it sounded like the morning guys at 95.7 The Rock. They were way too awake and way too happy, and really there shouldn't have been anybody answering the phone at that time of the morning. Desk wasn't open. So there's a good tip-off. And the guy says, hey, you want me to put you through to Dick? And the first thing I'm thinking is, these fuckers are going to put me on the air on 95.7, try to tell me I'm talking to Dick, and they're going to make me look like an idiot about decriminalization. They're going to try to turn me into Cheech. So I said, no, you don't got to put me through. Just tell Dick I agree completely, and he's spot on the money. So anyway, down the road, Dick went on vacation. I put in my 2 cents. Hey, sign me up. I've always wanted to do this. So I got the go-ahead to do one, kind of submitted my idea, and went in, and it was Bob in there, because he was, the AM producer, board guy. So it's Bob in there recording me for this whole thing. So then I got to work with him a little bit, say, hey, if you ever need somebody to run board for your afternoon show, I'd always love to be able to say I ran board on the Limbaugh show, have that tucked under my belt. Just something good to have on a resume, But we did a couple of them, including one. I can't remember what it was. Something stupid. But I got to the end and I was like, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And Bob says, wait, do that again, but say that at the end. Like, I'm Ron Tracy. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Bob put it on there. God damn it, that was like a crowning achievement. I was like, if I ever had a catchphrase, maybe that would have been my catchphrase. So anyway, I haven't talked about Bob much. I got to quit rambling and get to it. But, so yeah, I got to be kind of tight with Bob. He was all around town. He's always doing stuff. He's all over the station. And I was there all the damn time. So, ran into Bob. And, this kind of became our thing. So I'd see Bob somewhere out in public, and I'd be looking over, and there'd be some guy standing over there. And, that kind of become a running joke all over the city of Lacrosse. Didn't matter. So pretty soon, Bob's kid, maybe 8, might have been 8 around the time, Bob gets his kid in on it. I can't remember where we were, but one day Bob says, hey, this guy's got something for you. I look down at the little guy, and he goes, I was like, all right, I like this kid. Well, then it got to be the thing, and you know how kids don't always know the line? So I'm at the grocery store, and I walk down the aisle and I turn around, I look up, and here comes this kid around the corner. And he darts off, and then I go over to the meat department. My roommate worked there, so he's a butcher. He's butching some stuff. We're wrapping the stuff that's already butched, and look over, and here's this kid, out from behind the produce. And apparently, like a couple weeks later, we went to Quick Trip, and he must have recognized my roommate, so he gave him the bird, and Bob had to be like, well, we don't know this guy. We don't, there's only the guy with the hair is the only one we do this to. So one time I was sitting in a Lacrosse Loggers game, and I look up. I'm in the drinking deck, of course. All you can eat, all you can drink. Don't get me wrong. I was there for baseball, but I was also going to make a hefty profit on the all you can consume deal. So I'm sitting in the party deck, and I look out in the, I don't know, family area. Saturn had an area out in like the bleachers, and I'm like, oh shit, there's Bob. Hey Bob, what's up? And I looked over, and there's his kid. It's Bob, his kid, and his wife. And I look over, and there's his kid. And I noticed that his wife kind of looks down and notices that his kid's to a guy over in the party deck. So apparently, Bob had some splaining to do. Yeah, they're like, hey, when mom's around, we don't do that. Yeah, so Bob was great. He ran board on the morning show, and I know he lined up a bunch of guests, producer angle. And he left that station. He went to the other radio group in Lacrosse where, Jesus, I don't know, it was 5 to 10 years. He had a morning show there, which I wished I could have got down here. And then, of course, well, you could stream it, but it's like, hey, man, I listen to it live while it's going on. I don't have time to be streaming things. So yeah, I was disappointed I missed all that. I was kind of hoping I'd get to fill in for Bob sometime, but yeah, Bob was great. It's at 4:30 in the morning. You got some guy there giving you the bird, keep you awake, get you through your shift. That's yeah. I kept in touch with Bob after I left the station, and last couple of years I thought, well, I need a good somebody good on my resume. What's better than a guy that has his own fucking morning show? So I checked with Bob. He was on there a couple times, got me a couple jobs, so I had to make him this delicious and tasty beer. And yeah, he hasn't even tried it yet. I've drank a case of this shit. I think I got like 6 more in there. Well, I'm really hoarding those bastards. But yeah, nice coffee, cream, smooth, and makes me think of all the great radio adventures and stupid shit I did in Lacrosse back in the day. So since it's like 9 a.m., I should probably quit drinking a beer and go make food, so I'm going to do that. So for Drinks with Ron, and this delicious, full of Schmidt Porter, Stout, it's a Stout. For this delicious, full of Schmidt coffee cream stout, I'm Ron, signing off.